Okay, so you don't like being compared to like the slave analogy that we just used for Joseph in his early years, right? With Potiphar. A slave bought but given authority, and he walked in the authority even as a slave. Cool. We'll put that one to rest right here. We'll push it to the side. Now let's talk about the servants. He was 30 years old when he became a servant of Pharaoh. Don't get it twisted. He ain't above Pharaoh. He ain't above the king. He is servant to him, in service to him. That's what a servant is, right? But he walked in it. He says, I'm Pharaoh, but no one lifts a finger without your word. And Joseph said, I got you. Pharaoh put the ring on, put the robe on, gave him the chariot, gave him the woman. Like he endowed him with everything that he needed as a servant, a foreign servant at that. And Joseph owned it, and he walked in it, and he lived it, and he rallied in it, and he rose to it, and he embraced it. Why am I telling you this? Because there are too few of us who are walking in it, who are embracing it. We are servants of the Most High. Don't you understand? You are a royal priesthood, a chosen generation. He has service for you. You are not just a love slave to God. You are a servant of the Most High through the blood of Christ. Walk in it. Own it. Everything he has is yours. He's given you the authority. He's put new robes on you. The old ones, the filthy ones are gone. Them rags are departed from him. He has dressed you in fresh linen, white linen, pure linen. You are righteous, holy, and redeemed through the blood of Christ. But so few of us walk in it. You may hear about it. You may like the sound of it, but are you walking in it? Do you own it like Joseph is owning it as a slave? Okay, you don't like that? As a servant, he walked in it. And everyone made room for him. Some translations say bow down before him because he walked in the authority that was given to him. He was no relation to Pharaoh. He was no family. He was merely a servant, blessed by God, and he walked in it. You are no less. You are a servant of the Most High. I dare you to start walking in it because that is your privilege, that is your right. It is you and you alone who will determine in your heart if you will believe, if you will own it and walk in it. And nobody else can do it for you. Joseph had to do fulfill his position like only he could. He had to believe the king. He had to believe that Pharaoh had given him all authority. Has our God done no less to us? If we will but believe. Feel me? Okay, so we talked about the slave. We talked about the servant. But I ain't even going to leave you guys there because you're so much more than that. I mean, I'm just being for real. Like, yes, we are bought by Christ. He paid the ultimate price for us. We are no longer ourselves. We are his, right? Yes, we are in service to him, but we are more than that. Jesus tells us we are more than that. I want to take you there next, right? John 15. This gets beautiful, baby. John 15. I'm going to read verses 5 through 8 and then verses 14 through 15. Now look at this. We went slave. We went servant. Watch what happens next. John 15. Jesus himself. Verse 5. I am the vine. You are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up and thrown into the fire and burned. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. This is to my Father's glory that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples, my servants, right? Walking in the authority I have given you, like Joseph did under Pharaoh. Like everything he asked for was given to him. The robes, given by Pharaoh. The authority, given by Pharaoh. The food he ate, the woman he had, like all given by Pharaoh. The same is true of God and us. To your Father's glory, ask and it will be given to you. Why? Because you walk in my authority now, son. Because you are my servant. But watch this. Jesus takes it one step further in verse 15. In verse 14. You are my friends if you do what I command. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends. For everything I have learned from my Father, I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you, and I appointed you. I have given you the authority. I have given you the right. I have given you the power. I have endowed you. I have anointed you so that you might go and bear fruit that will last. And so that whatever you ask in my name, the Father will give you. Why? Because I need you to walk in it. I need you to own it. I don't need just a slave doing my bidding at my will because that's your duty. I don't need just a servant because you're getting paid for it. I need a friend who will do it because he has affection for me. I no longer call you a servant. I call you a friend. Now do what I've asked you to do. Love one another. Love me and love others. Walk in it. You can't do anything apart from me, but in me, because of me, you can do everything. So ask what you will and walk in that authority because you are my friend. Feel me? Like I've seen this play out in this past week. My son, my oldest, had his first sleepover, had a friend over, right? He came into my house. He had nothing of his own, right? He came with a pillow and a blanket. I fed him. Under my care, he was protected. My house housed him, right? Like I spent my money on him. I was the one that chauffeured him. He had nothing, but I gave him everything, and he owned it. He walked in it. He didn't have to ask to go to the fridge. He went to the fridge. When he was hungry, I fed him. When he was tired, we put him to bed. Like, do you not understand? Friends are taking care of a house that is full of love. And God's house is full of love. And he says, you are no longer a servant. You are a friend. Ask whatever you want, and it will be given to you. This is for my Father's glory. Why? Because I'm going to take care of you. You are now under my roof, and my roof is a loving roof, and I will give you everything that you need to accomplish what needs to be accomplished. You hungry? Ask for it. You thirsty? I'll get you a drink. You need some protection? Cry out to me. I got you because you in my house now. That means you're under my watch, and I'm going to watch who's my own. Feel me? So you went from slave to servant to friend, but you know that ain't the extent of who you are. That's the beginnings. That's like brushing the surface. You are so much more than that, and I need you to see it, baby, because if you can see it, you can own it, and if you can own it, you can walk in it, and if you can walk in it, daggone it, you are going to change worlds. Not just yours, but others, because they're going to see something different. They're going to see a power in you like you have never displayed before, because you are going to walk with the ring on your finger. You are going to own the robe that he has put on you, the name that was given to you, like a new name, not your old name, not associated with what you used to do, but a new name associated with where you're headed to, with what your Christ has bought for you on that cross, with who you are now, because you ain't no just slave. You're not just a servant, and you dang sure ain't just a friend of God. You are so much more because the Spirit inside is testifying to it. I ain't got to convince you. If you got the Holy Spirit inside, he alone is witnessing to you who you are in that heart. And what's he saying? Abba, Father, declaring to you that you are a son of the Most High. Is he not? I promise you I ain't got to convince you of this. I know there's a Holy Spirit inside of my heart right now that allows me to call God my Father. Why? Because I am now his son through the blood of Christ. I ain't no slave. I ain't no servant. I ain't no friend. I am a son of the Most High. And I promise you, the son could have audacity like a friend never thought. The son could have audacity and walk in authority like a servant never can. The son could do way more than a slave because he is part of the family. He's blood, baby. And a blood relative is a relative to the end. I don't care what it means. That is who you are.